first, this press conference was about a guide of that it's a guide or guidelines that we operate in one document for the reconstruction. It's measures, advice that are giving to the professionals, the social professionals, architects, for example, but also the population who are doing reconstructions their own self. It's a certain amount of recommendation of what we have experienced, of what professionals have experienced in terms of Hurricane Irma and the damage that we saw during that phase of hurricane. So today, we want the people to be able to rebuild in the best conditions. And this little document, which you can have one, is resuming the simple advices that we need to take in terms of reconstruction. So this is what the press conference was about. Now, being the first day of opening of the hurricane season was symbolic. It was not meant to be because we have a press conference on the 5th concerning the hurricane season and all the measures, because we do a point once a month on all the measures that are taken and where we are at in terms of preparation for hurricane season. But really and truly, this document is doing a brief resume of all the studies. As the Prefet said just now, it's a participation between the state, between the collectivity, between the Foundation of France, between a certain amount of social professionals that bring their advice, that brought their expertise on what we consider are the best measures to put in place in order of rebuilding stronger in better terms to be able to resist as much as possible if we had to have a hurricane of this dimension. Because as you know, as the year passes, hurricanes are stronger and stronger. We don't hope to have something stronger than this. This was strong enough. But if you take from Hugo to Louis to today, you will see that they are stronger and stronger. So whether it's in the aspect of insurance, that every time you have an event like this, they change their policy. Either your fees goes up. Well, the same way in terms of construction, you need to go up in terms of rebuilding with a maximum of solidity. Stronger. Let's say stronger.
Now, what method is being put in place, or in fact, who is going to oversee the rebuilding process as you aim to rebuild better than before?
Well, we have the services of the collectivité, which is the service of urbanism, is in charge of whatever concerns rebuilding, reconstruction, building permits, etc. This document is only an advice for the time being of what is recommended to do in the best interest of the population. Nevertheless, as the Prefet said, we have competence in terms of laws and regulation on what is all aspects concerning urbanism. If these measures are well taken, if these measures are well introduced in the population, why not, I would say, convert them to laws and regulations, because we have competence to do so. But for the time being, this is just an advice of what expertise and social professionals have brought on the table that we believe is feasible to be recommended to the other professionals, but also to the population.
The Prefet from Guadeloupe was also there for this, should I say, presentation. What role is he playing in all that?
What role? Sorry.
What role is the Prefet playing in all that?
It's in coordination with a cooperation between state and collectivity. Part of finance has been brought by the state, and part has been brought by the collectivity. And the Prefet of Guadeloupe is also the interministerial Prefet of the reconstruction. So as he was saying, he had two caps. Today he was speaking with the other cap, which is the one of the reconstruction. And this morning and yesterday, when we were dropping the roof, he was the Prefet of the region Guadeloupe and partly Saint Martin.
Let me ask President Gates a very last question. What's the price tag to the rebuilding process of Saint Martin?
What do you mean the price tag?
How much is
The price
Yes.
of rebilling? You're talking about the estimation?
Yes.
The only thing I can address on is the figures that were given to me by the French Federation of Insurance, because they have an amount of 2 billion in terms of insurance. But if we talk about evaluation, we stopped an evaluation at 3.5 billion the first time, and we reduced that evaluation to only priority, public and private, and we stopped to 2.5 billion. But in the reference of the private and the insurance, they are between 1.5 billion and 2 billion.
Unfortunately, I said finally, but what sort of assistance have you been receiving from the Republic?
Well, that was the concept of deceiving that I had in terms of direct funding from the state. But the state accumulated the expense that was given by Europe, which was 49 million. And then we had what you call the common law, which every territory, French territory, overseas territory, and French territory can address to, as well as us. But as exceptional help among all this, we received briefly an envelope of 23 million. But it was an open envelope in the sense that after spending what was given, we still have the opportunity to come back and address for other envelopes. At the end of the day, when you accumulate the national help, when you accumulate the common law, when you accumulate the European law and the special help of state, it sums up to the envelope that they presented of 450 to 500 million.
Hi, I'm Fernando Clark.
And I'm Sherlin Clark.
And we invite you to St. Martin's first ever father and son comedy show called It's a Family Affair.
On Sunday, June 3rd, under the tent at Port au Plaisance.
Starting at 7 p.m. sharp.
Gates open at 6 p.m.
Okay, since you feel you're so smart, tell them where they could get tickets and for how much.
Big D Photo Studio on the Pantville Road, Vandor Bookstores in Simpson Bay and on the 80 Elledge Road, SOS Radio in Marigot, and Arts and Gas Station in Hamel Dupont.
And for how much?
Only $30. So come out on June 3rd under the tent at Port au Plaisance to see me in action.
To see you? No, they're coming to see me.
Okay then, come out to see both of us.
And bring the whole family.
Because it's a family affair.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Mega Wadi is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
Tell them, connecting you.
about mediation, for those that know me, I tend to think in terms of visuals, pictures, etc. So when I think of mediation, actually what I think about are my two young daughters. They're teenagers now. But like many young daughters, they're only 2 years apart. And so naturally, when you have children, when they're young, they tend to fight over things. Toys, the TV remote, whatever it might be. And I think I did what most parents do. One of the children comes, complains, talks about how the other sibling has wronged them, and of course both parties believe that they're absolutely correct and that they should have the TV remote or the toy or whatever. And I probably did what most parents do, listen to the story, decide who's right or wrong, and pass judgment. And then I read an article about parenting, actually, and it pointed out that when you do that, you become the loser in every situation, because there's always one party who wins and one party who loses. And what they suggested was a different strategy, which is exactly what I implemented, which was when they come fighting over the remote, say, that's fine, you both lose the remote. I will take the remote away. And instead what they do is they say, whoa, hang on, Dad. They go into a little huddle, they figure it out, they resolve the conflict themselves, and they come to some sort of a resolution where they share the remote or they make a time schedule or whatever it is. So not only it made me not the loser, it made me the winner in it, but it also made my children independent. It made them figure out how to solve the problems themselves. So when I think of mediation or conflict resolution, this is actually what I tend to think about. You know, it was good for all three parties. And I think that's really what we're after here today, is how do we find a way to resolve conflicts in a way that everybody comes out a winner instead of one person being the loser and one person being the winner. So how can we resolve conflicts in a quicker and more amicable way? There's no doubt in my mind that after Irma, we have more conflicts. Why would we have more conflicts? Because our economy's been badly damaged. We're resource challenged. Facts, when we look through calculations, we estimate that the reconstruction needs for St. Martin to build back better is approximately $2.4 billion. We're very grateful to the support from Holland via the World Bank, estimated about $580 million. From Central Bank, estimates are that private insurance will contribute between $319 and $431 million. But what that leaves is, it leaves us a gap of $1 billion, roughly, right? And so when you're that short on the money that you need to rebuild back better, with an economy that's difficult, with employers that are in trouble, with employees struggling with lower hours or no jobs, of course we're going to have conflicts in our community. It's unavoidable. The question is, how do we resolve these conflicts as quickly and as amicably as possible? In my opinion, every dollar that's spent on conflict is money that isn't spent on solutions. So the idea behind today's conference is, how can we make sure that we can resolve our problems quicker, amicably, less money spent on fighting, and put all of those resources towards the rebuilding of St. Martin. We need all hands on deck. We need all resources focused on reconstruction. And I think a big part of it, and it's interesting that you've mentioned Circle of Trust as your theme. You know, I think much about conflict resolution comes back to trust, common objectives, and dialogue. And I must say that over my tenure as minister, I've worked very hard to build a relationship with the Netherlands, because trust is something, and with the unions and with employers and with as many of the stakeholders in the community as possible, and hopefully with the ministry and government workers as well. Because trust is something that is built over time, right? You cannot only build trust in times of conflict. You need to build those relationships over the years, and I think that we've done a good job doing that. And I think that we're leveraging those relationships now, because those relationships were built in times without conflict. And now when it does come time that we really need to sit around the table and make some hard decisions, We're doing it on a basis where we've had an open line of communication, where we've built a circle of trust.
People all across St. Martin are switching to a more rewarding experience. The WIB MasterCard Fun Miles credit card, better known as My Card. Earn 1 Fun Mile for every $2 spent, even abroad and online. This will quickly get you a ton of Fun Miles to redeem for travel, shopping, food, fuel, and much more. But there's more to My Card. Worldwide acceptance, an EMV chip for extra security, and 250 free Fun Miles with first use. Switch to My Card today at WIB.
Fun miles, from within your reach.
Tell them, connecting you.
Hello, St. Martin. My name is Jose Helaga and I play basketball. I have organized basketball events in St. Martin. Sport matters to me because it makes everybody come together in unity. So I challenge the businesses community to step up for sports and help us rebuild and repair our facility. I'm also asking the community to nominate local businesses in your area to take on the challenge and step up for sport because sports matter. Check out the Department of Sports SXM Facebook page for more information. Hashtag Sport Matter, hashtag Are You In?
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
Well, I just told them that I'm gonna be having, this is gonna be my first comedy show, like the first time I'm actually a star in the show. So that's what I usually tell my friends is gonna be me alongside my father, and the reaction I got to it has been positive. Like they say they're proud of me. They like that I'm gonna be taking on the family business. So they're gonna be interested because of that. They want to see what I'm capable of. So.
Others and Mr. Clark, do we see or foresee anyone else performing on the show at least for 5-10 minutes?
Well,
You take on the stage?
Yeah, if you talk about anybody else on the stage, Zihaira Richardson will be the MC. Zihaira, known to us as Z, she's a very good friend of mine. She's also the niece of the late Paben, and she will be the mistress of ceremony, or the miss, what do you call a female MC? Well, whatever. The MC, she'll be on the MC, so she'll be sharing the stage with us, but in the role as the MC. Now, you might think that I'm selfish, but whenever I do my shows, it's always me alone. And that used to happen because I used to have so much material put up that sometimes I used to tell the producers, I could do 3 hours or more. I had enough material for that, So usually when I do a show, it's Fernando Clark alone. This is the first time that I'm doing my show and I'm sharing the stage with somebody else. Now, if another promoter has a comedy show and brings me on with other people, I don't mind sharing the stage with them, because I've shared the stage with many great comedians. Paul Keane Douglas, for instance. I've been at the Apollo Theater with 7 other great comedians. I've been throughout the Caribbean performing with other comedians who well known throughout the Caribbean. And I've performed with people like IT and Fancy Cat.
Eddie Griffin.
Eddie Griffin, I shared the stage with Eddie Griffin in Laugh Till Belly Bus. I've shared the stage with Sprangalang, with Salush, with Tommy Joseph. You name it. I've been on stage with all these people. One thing I gotta say though is that whenever these people meet me, they never forget me. There was a time we used to have stand-up comedy at Privé, down on the corner of at the entrance to Pelican. And the promoter would bring in American comedians. Some big names were here. And I would always share the stage with them. I used to take my son with me each time so he could actually meet them, you know. And they used to tell him, one day you'll be on stage doing this too, you know. So, but when I do my own show, I do my own show. This is the very first time I'm sharing the stage with someone else in my own show. And my own show usually is Fernando and some, like Fernando, You Too Bad. Fernando Clark and His Laughing Stock. Fernando Clark, Raw. Fernando Clark, now, in what was the last one? Yeah, In Your, you know. So it was always that and something else. Now, it's a family affair. And so it's us, the two of us.
How do you prepare, and that's not on the final question, how do you prepare for your shows? Do you script, then memorize, and present on stage?
Most of my preparation is based on memory. I have to remember. But where do you get the material from? No, you have to look around and see things. And a comedian has strange eyes, huh? They would see things that the normal eyes don't see. We will see things in a way that normal people wouldn't see it. And of course we are normal too, huh? Don't get me wrong. But we would see things that we could make humor of. You find that, but you have to know for sure that it is humorous. Because I might think it's humorous and the rest of people think not. And it has happened to me that there were things that I thought, this is going to rip up the place. And then I have something, I said, well, I'll just put this in as a filler. And trust me, the filler was the funniest thing, and the thing that I thought would be the most funniest was not really. And I could give you an example. When I did the Chinese man, the imitation of the Chinese man, hello, Falanto, you're very, very funny fella. Falanto, you make a laugh, man. I like a joke about the man on the plane. The man lose a watch over Kelaso, you know. I thought to myself, okay, that will go down and, you know, that's it. But that was, to date, I would say that's one of the things that people remember most from me. I also had one that I did about 3 tomatoes. Papa Tomato walking in front, Mama Tomato in the back of him, and Baby Tomato way at the back. Papa Tomato get vexed, he go in the back to call Baby Tomato, and he mash him and say, catch up. Now, I thought that was, I went to New York and I gave that joke, and the people would tell us about the tomato again. And I told that joke about 20 minutes ago, you know. So how do you prepare? You have to find the material, make sure it is funny, bring it across in such a way that it is funny, then memorize it. I don't write anything. There's nothing written. People ask me for a script, and I tell them that script is up here. Unless you could get in there, you can't see that script. Sometimes the producers, the people I work with, they tell me, but we need a script. I tell them there is no script. There will be a certain line I will use. When I use that line, be prepared for X, Y, Z. The most difficult show that I did, was Fernando, You Too Bad. Because I had to work with the sound man. I had to work with the light man. There was a time all the lights went off and one spotlight came on. And that spotlight had to be a certain place. In the dark, while the light was off, somebody backstage had to give me something in my hands. So all of that had to be rehearsed. We practiced that. I had to stop at a certain spot on the stage, make 7 steps to my left, turn to the left and make 7 steps again. And I had to count that. And the light man had to know exactly where to put that light. But I had to know when to do it. You see? So script, I don't work with script. Preparation is all in here. I have to memorize everything and I have to go down the line with it. But yes, a lot of preparation is in there because the next step of preparation is to keep your mind free. I can't do a show and make you laugh if I got worries, if I am depressed, if I am concerned about something, if I got something else on my mind. No. So the preparation is to free up your mind from everything. Remember the last show I did, You're Too Bad. I did that show like a couple of weeks after my father passed away. But I had to put that aside, blank out my mind, and concentrate on the comedy. And that's the preparation you need. And you have to be prepared that if somebody in the audience were to heckle you, how are you going to deal with it? Are you going to ignore them? Are you going to answer? Are you going to respond? And you have to be prepared for that. And the only way I can tell you to be prepared is to have your mind completely free so that you can focus 150% on what you're doing on stage at that moment.